Actors have to be brave to make choices to play characters which are loved for their stardom and hated for their performance.
I consume a script as an audience member.
Next year actually is going to be super special.
अक्षय कुमार तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, जो करते हैं वो चलता है आजकल.
And when she got the biggest film of her life, she dumped that film and she got married. You know, hats off.
अच्छे कैरेक्टर को बड़ा अवार्ड मिलता है और बुरे कैरेक्टर को अवार्ड नहीं मिलता, क्योंकि अगर हमने उसे अवार्ड दिया तो हम क्या एग्जाम्पल सेट करेंगे. ऐसे अवार्ड्स होते हैं क्या?
As a professional, I believe that my code of conduct is to follow what the director says. Once you agree to that, yes, you can have discussions, you can have arguments, you can have differences of opinion, but in the end, I will always want to succumb to the director because his vision, his idea, his thought process is never going to be understood by anyone else but him.
I consume a script as an audience member. I take out the garb of a star while selecting a script because I always keep the script above my character. मुझे लगता है अगर script अच्छी है तो सबको फ़ायदा होता है और मैं I see the bigger picture always. If the script is entertaining, I go for it. Like few things are it should have novelty. It should be good content coupled with entertainment. If there's no entertainment, then I think it will be a documentary.
सर एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट है डायलॉग में जो सामने आता है, जब उसमें आप कहते हैं कि दैट यहाँ पर हम भगवान का घर बनाने के लिए हम यहाँ पर आए हैं.
तुम मतलब वो बोलता है कि मस्जिद बनानी है तुम्हें
जी,
और हम यहाँ लड़ने आए हैं.
राइट.
तब मैं बोलता हूँ जब लड़ने का वक्त आएगा लड़ेंगे, लेकिन फिलहाल भगवान का घर बनाने का वक्त है. और रब से कैसी लड़ाई.
That's a very important point because it conveys the fact that it's basically a fight. It's not a fight about religion or anything of that sort, which many times people confuse.
That is so true, and that is the biggest problem in the world.
अक्षय कुमार तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, जो करते हैं वो चलता है आजकल. But more than anything, I think what works is his honesty. वो बहुत honest है अपने काम को लेके.
Salman Khan has no competition other than himself. So even if you go and ask him, this is exactly his funda. He said that I have to do better than what I was yesterday.
Next year is again going to be a very exciting year for me because I had a lot of firsts with, working with Sanjay Leela Bhansali for the first time, working with Ranbir for the first time, Ayan for the first time, Mr. Bachchan, like a lot of first time, my dad for the first time.
Yeah, Mr. Bhatt, yeah.
Yeah, so next year actually is going to be super special and I really hope it goes well.
जिस दिन मेरी न्यूज़ ये कह के फेंक दी गई कि आज पेपर में स्पेस नहीं है, अगले दिन मैंने ये न्यूज़ पढ़ी कि बेबो के बर्थडे में क्या पहनेगी लोलो. So that was the replacement of that news that someone needs to know this particular actor कि यार ये कुछ कर रहा है, ये कौन है. उससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी ये खबर है कि बेबो के बर्थडे में क्या पहनेगी लोलो, तो आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. तो फिर ये सवाल आता है कि जर्नी क्यों डिफिकल्ट होती जा रही है. तो ये बहुत सारे रीज़न हैं.
Someone asked that what does Ranveer think of the promo?
He and I are both on the same page. There's a reason why I think initially a lot of people were apprehensive about our relationship much earlier on because they always looked at us from the outside and felt like, my God, these two people are so different from each other. Actually, we're very very people. We have the same values, we have the same ambition. We're equally driven, we're equally committed to our relationship, we're equally committed to our friends, we're equally committed to our families. You'll very rarely see us together, even publicly, because I don't have to, just because he has a commitment somewhere as a professional, I don't have to be attached to him all the time. And similarly, if I have a professional commitment, he doesn't have to be attached to me all the time.
पहले दिन जूहू के ग्राउंड में गए थे हम, कबीर सर थे, संधू सर थे. First day of work on the film 83 for me, and the बैटिंग तो ठीक ठाक कर ही लेता हूँ, रिपोर्ट कार्ड ठीक भी है, बैटिंग की टेक्निक इज नॉट बैड, बट bowling was embarrassing. मतलब I'm at least happy to report that I've come a long way from day one. It's been about 5 months of work. I've had to also change my body mechanics. मेरी body ऐसी it was not mechanically able to execute Kapil sir's bowling action. So I had to actually train, do rigorous physical conditioning to change the mechanics of how my body works.
Actors have to be brave to make choices to play characters which are loved for their stardom and hated for their performance. If you need to be hated as a character, you must play that character. There is no rule that character has to only be the villain of a film. He is a character. He could be the protagonist, he could be the antagonist. You can walk out saying, I hated that guy. And I'll take that as a compliment because that means that my performance was so bloody good that you actually hated him.
My question to you is that when we observe you on your social media and even apart from that, don't you feel afraid at times?
देखो भाई, मैंने बहुत पहले डिसाइड कर लिया था, मुझे जो कहना है मैं ना बस ट्विटर पे कह दिया करूँगा, because otherwise it becomes very difficult to deal with the things. It's sad that one has to be afraid to speak his mind.
We don't have freedom of expression in India. This is a country where people are going to jail for Facebook posts. And not one case, but numerous cases. This is a country where people can be jailed if somebody thought a painting you made is obscene. So we don't have freedom of expression. We don't have a culture where we have actually quite the opposite culture. We have a culture where if you say something and my feelings are hurt, I can make up some case and put you in jail. That is the exact opposite of freedom of expression.
The constitution was written to decide how this country will function. Go read them. It's your job. If you're an Indian, it's your job to find out what are the rules by which I must live.
जोक का जो जनन प्रजनन होता है, जो उसका जन्म है, ठीक है, वो बहुत ऑफेंसिव होता है, ठीक है। उस ऑफेंसिव लाइन को सबसे नॉन ऑफेंसिव वे में डिलीवर कर देना ही स्टैंड अप कॉमेडियन का करियर है।
There was, I think, Priyanka Chopra was trying to
Relax.
over Bharat. She did choose USA in the nick of time. But it's
We'll
amazing.
get there, we'll
She's
get there.
worked all her life so hard, okay? And when she got the biggest film of her life, she dumped that film and she got married. You know, hats off. It's hats off, hats off. Usually people leave their husbands for a film like this.
This is my request to all the writers. Don't undersell yourself. A lot of times we don't value ourselves.
Tiger has inherited the humility.
Very humble guy.
Also the passion, the discipline. I mean, he's incredible. I think he is going to be untouchable for the next 50 years, I think.